Hello everyone and welcome back to another gameplay of Destiny. Actually, not welcome back, welcome to the first. You are the pioneers of this video and of my channel, so thank you for joining me. Today I had a little bit of time today, so me and my buddy Tanner decided we were going to run some Nightfalls. And in the past we've basically only ever ran simple Vanguard Nightfalls or normal difficulty, so we were finally able to get a class set up that kind of synergizes with one another, and yeah, we were able to do Master Falls, and we're on our way to a Grandmaster next. So we were able to do every difficulty in the Nightfall category, and our classes actually worked really well. We were both very surprised. Obviously, with this new season in Destiny, Arc is kind of the priority build. The artifact that is out right now, all the mods going towards that are either Arc or Void, so we kind of had to suck it up, both of us being solar players for the most part, and divulge into the world of Arc. With it comes a lot of unique buffs and abilities, and I do appreciate the healing factor and also the resilience we have this season. It's a lot easier to keep your feet on the ground and stay alive. With that being said, all the stuff that's going on right now with the barrier champions and having to have a full loadout, it's not the greatest, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot less creatability, or it's not the word I'm trying to use. There's just a lot less self-expression in these classes because you have to stick to the kind of the same mods on your weapons and on your ammo, and you can see there, even fully kitted out, you're not gonna be resilient enough against these guys, and rightfully so. That was a bad play on our side. We should have been careful about, not maintaining the distance between us and keeping each other buffed. But in the end, Tanner uses his grenade launcher here, which has that bolt charge ability, pops his barrier, and it's good to go from there. The Thunderlord clearly doing plenty of damage, so pretty good, pretty good. But it is still weird getting used to Arc. It is a quick class. It is not like Solar. You have to get up close and personal with these guys. And being a Titan, that's great and all, but being a Warlock, it's a little different on our side. So we kind of just finally decided and came to the conclusion that I will prioritize keeping us buffed, and he will prioritize keeping the ads to a minimum and doing a maximum DPS on the bosses. So as you can see, we're not sweaty enough to do the speed run on this part like most people do. We sit and wait for the train to leave, and we keep pushing forward. I'm really liking the Nightfalls that they're putting out. The encounters are a lot more rewarding and satisfying. And the fact that we don't have respawn counters anymore is very nice. I think that was ridiculous to begin with, but hey, I don't work at Destiny. But we're just gonna truck on through, get through these ads. So you can see I'm using the Cold Heart class. I do not have the Geostorms on. I decided to swap that for the exotic helmet to increase the ionic traces for both me and Tanner, and it ended up working out pretty well. As you can see there, Tanner's fucking retarded and decided to get hit by a car or a train, because that's what Titans do. Can you really blame the guy? So we're just gonna keep pushing through. But again, this is a Nightfall, but it is on master difficulty, so it might look like we're just kind of breezing through this, but none of this would be possible without the buffs to the left side of the screen. If you can see, I have Arc Soul, Bolt Charge ×9. Those things is what keeps us resilient, keeps us powerful basically, and gives us an arc charge to be able to kind of dismantle these guys. And we were both mentioning it, as we played, we felt like gods, and that's what you're supposed to feel like in Destiny. And we played this game for 10 years, and it finally took that amount of time for us to understand it enough. But yeah, it's just, we still lose health here and there, but at all times we have all abilities, and that is thanks to my helmet and to Tanner's bolt charge capacity that he's able to hold. So you can see there, he's making sure that we stay constantly inside that puddle, constantly stay bolt charged. Actually no, I'm incorrect about that. That's the wrong grenade launcher. I realize even still, that kind of boasts to the fact that our abilities were really good, because we kind of relied on that grenade launcher, and he's using the different one. Yeah, I think he's got Jolt on that. But anyways, it's still a great little gun to have, especially when you guys are running special ammo modifiers or on this season's pass. I believe there are two ways to get special ammo. You can get the chance ammo, which drops heavy ammo and special ammo, but it's a chance, so that's, I think now it's up to 15% per enemy. So you can risk it on that, or just do what he's doing and use finishers to get special ammo. That's kind of the go-to. It's a guaranteed thing most of the time. Most of the time, if you do yellow bars, it's always guaranteed. So we're just gonna brush through these last few ads and make our way up. We haven't encountered the first boss yet, and we were still learning how to, I was still learning how to use pistols to break the barrier. As you can see, I'm using something from the Witch Queen season, which I know is pretty outdated, but um, yeah, it's still useful. It's still able to mod. You can see the mods on the side of it. It's good. It's just Destiny hasn't really touched it in a while, so it's not the greatest thing out there. But there's not many options for pistols, and I don't want to run double special ammo because I hate not having ammo and having to just use abilities. So you can see here we had a hard time with these hobgoblins just based on the fact that they really get in the way of us collecting our buffs. But you can see the left side of our screen there, it's just going crazy. We're constantly amplified. I drop arc souls for us, which are those little balls that are kind of floating around us. So it's great. Those give us ionic traces. The cold heart is pumping out. You can see him just running on the ground to me, pumping out those ionic traces and just refueling our abilities. And extremely synergetic, exactly where we're supposed to be with our classes. Obviously, we don't have a third yet, and we'll have to account for that and start building based on that. But we're running this as a duo, and most people can't even get through it as a trio. So we're pretty proud of ourselves. But yeah, I'm just making sure that I keep the abilities up for him. That way he can get the constant DPS out with that grenade launcher, regardless if it has bolt charge. Jolt still works just as good. So just gotta make sure we're prioritizing. And this is a thing with a lot of Destiny players, and you guys need to listen up to this. I get it. You're a warlock and you want to punch shit. You're not a fucking titan. At the end of the day, you guys gotta play to your abilities. Stop trying to just get the most DPS. Stop trying to be on the top of the leaderboard. Just play the game. Because at the end of the day, Destiny is going to reward us for how quickly we complete this. So when you synergize like this and you all use the same class and you respect your characters and what they're actually supposed to do and the lore and everything else, you'll start to understand the game a lot better. And trust me, we were naive to this. We definitely used to play this game like it was Call of Duty, and it's not. I mean, Call of Duty and Dungeons and Dragons had a baby, and this is it. And we just didn't want to accept the other half. So it's very refreshing. It is sad that now we've finally gotten to this point, and 2 months from now we're going to have a completely different game, basically. So not too shabby. We know what to learn, we know where to go, and we'll work from there. And I think we're both very excited for Edge of Fate. I wish Destiny wasn't charging us $100 for it at the end of the day, but I get it. They do spend a lot of time, and it is a price that I think is worth it. Any other game, absolutely not. Absolutely not. They just don't make them like they used to anymore. And it's sad that we can't let go of games and build new ones, but the hold we have, or not we, these corporations really have a hold on our gaming studios, and it's sad. I think it's everything in media today, but especially gaming, and also the fact that streaming has demolished every other game except for this one, because it is not, no one wants to watch it. Nobody wants to watch Destiny content as much as Fortnite and Call of Duty and all that bullshit. So, but I digress. Great game. Thank you, Bungie. Thank you, Destiny, for just everything y'all have given us throughout the years. I mean, this was our childhood game, and to be able to show this and show how much we've developed from young Guardians that were found in the field to Master Guardians who are now veterans. So it feels great to be able to experience this. I encourage anyone to pick up this game and try to play PC, Xbox, whatever you play on. If you're not a first-person shooter, I get it. But at the end of the day, there's so much more this game has to offer than that. And there's just so much detail put in here that not a lot of people respect and not a lot of people understand. And at the end of the day, it's a teen game. You don't have to worry about all the demonic bullshit that they're trying to sell in every other game. So there's no licensing here. We're just now in December going to get a Star Wars agreement, and this game's been around for 10 plus years. So that's very rare for a game company to hold out on cash like that. I mean, marketing and the advertisements that they can make are just, it's a benefit of both parties, and Destiny never turned their eyes to that. They always made sure that they gave the fans Destiny content, and nothing else. They didn't want you to be in this reality. They wanted you to be in theirs. So greatly appreciate it. And at the end of the day, hell of a pick. If you're gonna do a licensing agreement with someone, yes, Lucasfilm is a way to go. So we're gonna get some cool new skins. We're gonna be able to get lightsabers. Obviously, we don't even know what all elements are gonna come out with Edge of Fate, but at the end of the day, it's an exciting prospect to see, especially knowing that we're gonna get some Star Wars licensing stuff. So fun stuff ahead. We're looking forward to it. Obviously, we gotta wait a while. This has been in development for the past 3 years now, and it should last us about 5 years until we get Destiny 3 or whatever the next saga could be. Other than that, the gameplay's going pretty well. Obviously, we're cheesing through it, which is, most people don't understand. This is not a normal thing, and I don't have the game chat audio going because we're just cussing like sailors and just very excited to be kicking some ass and probably saying not the most appropriate things, but we keep that in the locker room. So if you see here, I'm gonna try to get enough bolt charge, ionic traces to be able to drop a healing barrier, which I'll do right now. And that's going to give me Arc Soul. It's going to heal me up. Obviously, I should not be jumping out of it like that, but I do have airborne effectiveness turned up on my rocket launcher. So, yeah, wasted my super there. Didn't pop his barrier. That's one thing, Bungie, that you guys really need to figure out is you got to give us more options to break barriers with. These pistols and sniper rifles aren't the move. They aren't. Especially not with this season, and you guys are dropping us nothing but auto rifles with this new season, so not really understanding where you're coming from with that. I've gotten one pistol from the new season, and it's trash. It's a bad roll. So I'm not hating. It's just I get it. You're trying to advertise the side of Destiny that isn't being used, the sidearms, the fusion rifles, the sniper rifles, but a lot of that stuff is just because they haven't aged well with the game, and I think players like me and Tanner and most of us are just tired of getting stuff kind of shoved down our throats, especially with like the glaives. Like, totally understandable, very interesting, but some of these glaive builds are just obvious that they're trying to push us more to certain content. And at the end of the day, I get it. We need to get that data. We need to understand the balancing issues between it, because some people do love it, and we need more interaction. All those things. I totally understand it. If we're gonna add, Bungie has been doing it to where they're adding, I think, a whole new row of artifact mods per month, and that's cool. But give us what we want, and I know Reddit's blowing up with it. There's no reason to take the glaives away. Or any of their unstoppable champion abilities, but just give a little to the auto rifles, especially if that's all we're going to be getting. I've had hundreds of rolls. I'm fully full to my vault. I have probably 30 or 40 rolls of the newest auto rifle. So great gun, just not usable in any outside challenges. So just something to consider. And obviously Bungie is far from ever seeing this video, but it's still good to give my thoughts out there. So funny enough, the first time we ran this, both of us kind of assumed this was the end. We're like, oh well, that's kind of easy, and I was like, oh wait, no, this is where it's going to drop from beneath us, and it does. So Xur tricks us just as usual and gets what he wants, and we got to go help him kill someone else because he's a lazy son of a bitch, and that's all right. We love him. He gives us good shit on the weekends. So this is just a crapshoot of a boss fight here, because normally we'll have a raid banner, and I'm assuming the difficulty is why we didn't, but even when we played a regular, we didn't. Don't know why Destiny decided to do this. We're kind of screwed if we don't have our special and heavy ammo, but at the end of the day, you'll see I mean, our class setups are just, it's unbeatable. It's just blue everywhere. We are just constantly producing electricity and um, bolt charge, and I mean instantly upon a few hits. So you can see right there, they end up stacking so high. I have about 7 or 8 mods, but it'll only show me 4 at a time. So it's pretty crazy. It's a really interesting build. Tanner is running the Thunderlord and that exotic chess piece. Forgot the name. So he's stacking Bolt Charge way more than I am. I have about 6. Tanner can hold about 15, I believe. And he is just, every time a boss shows up, he's going to pop that shield down and get the damage from, the bonus damage from that. And then he's just going to waylay into the boss with the Thunderlord, you can see right here. And it just melts him away. Obviously, he has his solar disposition, so he's going to use that against us. And we have to stay in the shadows. That was kind of hard to figure out the first time. We weren't used to that, so interesting element on that boss fight. But yeah, you can see it's butter. Everything is just butter. You know, I'm taking a lot of damage, but my immediate pop of Rift right there and health back, it's just crazy. The Rift event, the Rift actually never heals me. It's the Arc Charge that ends up giving me restoration. So crazy good build. I mean, and I don't have, again, this is the problem with this build versus the Geomags, is that I don't have that long super with the extended damage, which at the end of the day, it creates situations like this where I didn't get enough damage output, and so Tanner, you know, had to stay there for a longer and ended up going down. But nonetheless, it's still just a monster, and of course Tanner's just murdering them with DPS. I'm just here to basically support that. You can see his Thunder Crash is just fucking crazy. Crazy, crazy. So we just continue the cycle, rinse and repeat. I gotta just maintain the buffs. He's gotta maintain the DPS, and we go from there. Really easy build, super simple to get into. Not a lot of exotic missions you gotta do to be able to achieve this. I believe the 2 things you want to try to strive for is obviously Thunderlord, and you can get that in the exotic bank. You should be able to pay for that. You just need an exotic cipher, so Xur should be here on the weekends. That should be an easy grab. But yeah, obviously this build's been out for a while. Everyone knows about it, and if you don't yet, you're living under